So we will dwell today on the life of Vansidas Babaji. This is the excerpts from O.B.L. Kapoor's The Saints of Bengal. Srila Prabhupada's godbrother has write down about the life of Vansidas Babaji. He was a Siddha Mahatma in the disciplic succession of Narottam Das Thakur, who wrote this wonderful Jayanilo Premadhana song. The name of his Diksha Guru was Harilal Brajbasi, and the name of his Vesu Guru was Ramanan Brajbasi. But it was difficult to know that he was Siddha because he lived far away from the world in a solitary place on the bank of Ganga near Baral Ghat in Navdvip. As if he was renounced by the world as an idiotic and worthless destitute. But the fact is that this is not the world that had renounced him, but he who had renounced the world as worthless. He hardly had any worldly possessions. His only possessions were an old kopina, karanga, and kantha. Once Sripad Haridas Goswami asked him why he did not wear bahirvash. He replied, quote, I live only with ka, which means kopina, kavranga, and kantha. I have nothing to do with ba, which means bahirvash or outer garment. Bahirvash bring relationship with the outer world and the people who are bahiranga, that is those who are attached to the outer world. My Gaura has asked me not to wear bahirvash and mix with people who are bahiranga. Haribol, unquote. Vansidas Babaji lived in a world of his own. His world centered around his deities Gaura Gadadhar, Nitai, Radha Krishna, and Gopal. For the service of these deities, he had 2 brass pots, some earthen pots, 1 plate, 1 glass, some small cups, Panchapatra, bell, and kongsal, and nothing else. Baba passed day and night in the service of the deities and in sweet talks with them. Early in the morning, he went out from his kutir to collect flowers. Then he went for bhiksha. He returned to the kutir about noon and made garlands from the flower for each of the 6 deities. After that, he started cutting vegetables. I remember one of the Babajis in center island of Navdvip, very old, 90-year-old or something. And I heard that if you take any bhoga, he will cut right in front of you. He is so passionate about feeding his deities. He has no only in the 8:30 or 11:30 bhoga offering. No, anytime anybody brings some bhoga, he will cut vegetable, prepare the bhoga and offer to the deities. And then he will give you and serve the prasad very nicely. Babaji, I have the picture with the Babaji. He was so kind to us. and there was a calf there, I remember, and there was a well, and he will serve the food on the banana leaves. And no matter how hard you will press him, he never allow you to take your plates. He wants to serve you. And he is bent like the top half of his body is parallel to the ground. Very bent like this at old age, but he can do tremendous offering. Just remind me about when we read about the Vansi Das Babaji, that Babaji also was really, really wonderful. So he washed each vegetable a number of times, and then he cleaned rice. He examined each grain of rice. If he found any grain from which the husk was not removed, he will remove it with his own hand. He did everything slowly, contemplating all the time the Leela of Radha Krishna or Gaur-Nitai, and singing or talking to them. It was only late in the evening that he could cook and offer bhoga to the deities. He had no consciousness of time. Morning and evening, day and night had no meaning for him. Almost the whole night he kept awake, talking and singing. One Shripad Haridas Goswami was surprised to see him cooking for the deity at about 9 a.m. He said to him, quote, Baba, it would be fine if you prepare bhoga for the deities like this in the morning every day, unquote. And what Vansidas Babaji replied, quote, I do not know morning or evening. Am I their father's servant, so to feed them at appointed hours? If they want to eat like that, let them make their own arrangement for cooking. Let Gadadhar cook for Gaura. Nitai is Avdut. He has no caste. He can go and eat anywhere. I do not worry about my Gopal. A milk cow corners here every day and give him milk. He can live on that. I have to worry about Radha Krishna. For them, I will have to cook a little rice and vegetables. And if I don't, they will go to Vrindavan and do Madhukari, unquote. So Vansidas Babaji never locked the door of his kuti when he went out for bhiksha or to bathe in the Ganga. If someone asked him why he did not lock the kutir, how he will respond? He will say, quote, if the owner of the house himself does not keep a watch and has a soft corner for the thief, what is the use of locking the house? I do not even keep the key of the lock with me. The lock has 3 keys, and all the 3s are with the 3 boys. One is Gaura, one is Nitai, and one with Gadadhar. After entrusting the lock and the keys to the 3 boys, Baba used to be free from anxiety. If while he was out, a cow entered and the kutir and turned everything topsy-turvy, he would be angry with the boys. If someone stole something from the kutir, he would say, quote, Gaura has a soft corner for Nadiavasis, the residents of his own dham. Therefore, he gives things away to them. I'm after all an outsider, unquote. Once a gold necklace given by someone to Gaura was stolen, and when he had gone out for bhiksha, on returning to the kutir, he kept on scolding Gaura and asking him whom he had given away the necklace for about 2 hours. Toward the evening, he got a hint. He then went to the house of the thief and asked him for the necklace. And the thief pushed him down the veranda of his house. And Vansidas Babaji was hurt. But he did not say anything. But how could Gaura tolerate this? The thief soon died, as well as all the other members of his family. Haribol. So once Vansidas Baba had to punish Gaura Nitai for their convenience in a theft. The 2 brass pots in which Vansidas Baba used to cook for Gaura Nitai were stolen. How could this happen without the convenience of Gaura Nitai? Connivance means approval. So they were punished, and Vansidas Baba scolded them and did not give them anything to eat that day. The punishment had its effect. The next day someone came quietly and delivered one of those pots. So Vansidas Babaji said, quote, "This small pot is Nitai's. He will be fed today. And if Gaura wants to eat, he must also bring his pot," unquote. And Vansidas Babaji always did what he said. He cooked and offered bhoga to Nitai Gaura, drew a long face as he kept looking at Nitai eating. In the meantime, another man came and delivered the other pot. Vansidas Babaji then cooked in that pot and offered bhoga to Gaura. And when Gaura also had eaten, he said with tears in his eyes, quote, "Do I ever want to punish you? But both of you are so naughty that you must always tease me. You do not know that I have now become old and cannot bear at all. What can I do?" Unquote. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also received the blessings of Srila Vansidas Babaji Maharaj in Navadvip. Seeing Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Vansidas Babaji Mahashai would say, quote, "Someone very close to my Gaura has come to me," unquote. Vansivardas Babaji was a Gaudiya sadhu who lived at the Swarup Gunj during the time of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's mission. He was respected by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, and he used to see to it that Vansivar Babaji was provided with grains and so on by Gaudiya Math brahmacharis, whom he had sent to Swarup Gunj from the Yogpit Mandir. One day, a lady selling fish approached Vansidas Babaji, offering him some choice from the type of catch. Somehow or other, Babaji's mind got attracted to taste the fish. But he immediately checked himself and became very angry. He first of all shouted at the woman to get away. Then he was shouting, quote, "How could this happen? How could this happen? I have surrendered my life to Radha and Krishna. I'm under their protection, and still this happens. Why you are not protecting me?" Unquote. He went storming into his bhajan kutir. People gathered while he fussed and fumed at his deities inside. Then he came out, bringing the deities tied by rope, and threw them into the Ganga. And he kept the end of the rope under his foot. when one man inquired why he was doing this. So Vansidas Babaji threw a rock at him. When this news reached the Gaudiya Math Mandir, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati called his brahmacharis together and forbade them from visiting this Baba again, save for one who would just deliver supplies. So after a few days, he again called them together and said, quote, some of you think I have stopped you from visiting Babaji Maharaj because he is in Maya. That is not so. But you are not able to understand this vow, so stay away. Unquote. Later, when that one brahmachari visited, Vansidas Babaji Maharaj threw a stone at him and told, quote, if you want to please me, then never return here again. What a blessing. Previously, his reception had always been unpredictable. Sometimes Vansidas Babaji would welcome him, and sometimes he would accept the gift without saying a word. Sometimes he would just sit and stare. Sometimes he would take the gifts and angrily throw them in the river. It was very difficult to understand what vow Vansidas Babaji had toward Gaura. It sometimes appeared to be Sakya, friendly, sometimes Vatsalya, parental, and sometimes Madhurya, like that of a Nadia Nagari, Lady of Nadia, toward Gauranga, as Nadia Nagar, an attractive citizen of Nadia. If it was basically Madhur, it is easy to understand that he sometimes exhibited Vatsalya bhav toward him and sometimes Sakya, because Madhurya bhav include all other bhavas. According to Haridas Goswami, his bhav was of Nadia Nagari type, because he used to compose songs of this bhav and sing. He has quoted some of these songs. Two of them are reproduced below. Kena giya chilma Ganga tire o nagri Nyaya kataksa bane gaura Kaila manachuri Ami ekhana ki kari o nagri ki kari. O nagri, how I repent having gone to the bank of Ganga. Gaura cast a sidelong glance at me and stole my heart. What shall I do now, O Nagari? What shall I do? The next one is Bala go Nagari Gaura Kalena ki Gruha gela kulai Gele mana kela ko churi. Sajani ekhana ami ki kare Naina kone kane kane Gaura Kalena ki Ami je prana mari Gaura Kalena ki. Translation. Tell me, O Nagari, what Gaura has done to me. He winked and whispered and did. I do not know what to me, O Sakhi. Now I know not what to do. Life is running out of me. Oh, what has Gaura done to me? So toward the end of his life, Vansidas Babaji once went to his birthplace, Majidpur, in district Mahima Sinha. He carried the deities with him. On the way, he neither ate nor slept, nor passed stool or urine. On reaching Majidpur, he stayed in a dilapidated temple. After that, he went to Vrindavan and Puri. In Vrindavan, he stayed on the bank of Yamuna, and in Puri, on the bank of Narendra Sarovar, very close to our Jagannath Puri temple. And when they clean the Gundicha temple, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has all the line of the devotees from the Nanda Sarovar, Narendra Sarovar, to bring the water to cleanse the Gundicha temple. Very nice place. I visited at night. It was already dark, but I took the picture anyway with some lighting. Wonderful place. He never went inside a temple for darshan. And during this travel, the sadhus of the Gaudiya Math rendered great service to him. Nothing is known about Vansidas Baba's life as a householder, except that he was married at an early age, and his son, Harchandra, was 9 or 10-year-old when he renounced the world. He went to Navadvip about the year 1906. The author once tried to see him in 1932, but could not, because the door of his kutir was closed. Though he could hear him talking to the deities in Mayam Sinha dialect, he left the world in 1944. So Vansidas Babaji, you must weep for Krishna by his divine grace, Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirth Maharaj. Following is an excerpt from the chapter, What is Bhakti? In the book, A Taste of Transcendence by Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirth Maharaj. For more information about this book, you can click to the gokul.org/weep/weep.html. The great Vaishnava saint Vansidas Babaji Maharaj was not an ordinary sadhu. Outwardly, he had his advent in what is now known as Bangladesh, in Majidpur village, Maiman Singh district, near Jamalpur. But later he comes to Navadvip Dham, accepted the Babaji order, and performed his bhajan under a tree. The order of the sannyas is given for preaching, but a Babaji will perform bhajan in a holy secluded place. A Babaji will not go outside for prachar or preaching. Many people would come to Babaji Maharaj and offer to build him a cottage, but he chose to remain always beneath a banyan tree. He would not move from there. He was surcharged with Krishna Prem. He was a very tall figure. He never shaved, but remained like a madman. Many people would offer him various things, but he would pay them no attention. Whatever he might have received, he would distribute to others. He was an insurgent. Nobody could understand his behavior. And he had only 2 big cloth bags. He had no temple. In one cloth bag was Gauranitai, and in the other was Radha Krishna. Sometime he would take the deities out and perform puja. So is his bhakti less because he has just small deities and ours greater because we have a big temple? Gaura Nityananda were more satisfied by his service. Our Param Pujyapad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Thakur used to bow down to him from a distance. He prohibited his disciple for visiting Babaji Maharaj. His disciple asked, quote, "Shall we not have darshan of the sadhus?" Unquote. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur replied, quote, you will not be able to understand his behavior and you will commit offenses. He is not within this world, but is moving in the transcendental realm. If I commit an offense, it would be anti-devotional. For this reason, I'm bowing down to him from a distance. Only a Shuddha Bhakta can understand his wonderful behavior. An ordinary novice of bhajan will be unable to understand, so he should not go there. Babaji Maharaj is always surcharged with Krishna Prem. So there was a person from Navadvip Dham who used to come to Babaji Maharaj. So one day he thought, quote, I have the desire to obtain the Supreme Lord. How can I get Bhagwan? He was only murmuring, speaking to himself. So Vansidas Babaji Maharaj did not reply. This person came back repeatedly to see Babaji Maharaj. And finally one day, he approached Maharaj directly and asked him, what do you want? Vansidas Maharaj asked him. The man responded, I want to see Bhagwan. So Vansidas Babaji Maharaj replied with only one word, weep. We might supply so much scriptural evidence to try to explain in so many ways how to obtain the Supreme Lord. But what did Vansidas Babaji Maharaj say? Weep for him. If you can weep for him, then you can get him. If there is want for him, then he will come. We are uttering his names, but we do not want him. Hari Bol. So we are uttering the names of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And Krishna appeared before us. He says to us, come along. What will we say to him? No, I cannot go now. Right now, I require $1 million to save my business. I have my children still going to the college. I've just bought a building. I cannot go now. So why have you called me? Krishna asked. I have called you to give me $1 million. We replied, remove my difficulties. I do not have time to go now. Unquote. From where are we uttering the name? Not from the heart. We are chanting Hare Krishna. But if Krishna were to come, we would be unable to go. A certain Swamiji gave an illustration. It is an illustration involving the ordinary day-to-day life of a householder. But nevertheless, there is something very impressive about this illustration. So please listen attentively. In a town in Bengal, there was a man who worked in an office. He lived with his wife and 2 children. One of the children was only 3 or 4 months old, and the other was 7 years old. So one day the man told his wife, quote, you will have to prepare breakfast early today because I have to go into the office early. After I eat, I shall leave right away, unquote. When the wife went to cook, she first put the baby on the bed and then went into the kitchen. But whenever she would enter the kitchen, the child would cry. She thought at that moment, quote, with the child in my lap, how will I be able to cook? It is very difficult. She was thinking what she should do. Then she thought of a way she could manage. She called the 7-year-old child. Quote, darling, come here. She called, do you know that red toy in the shop? Yes, I know it, the child answered. Go and buy that toy, but be sure that it makes a nice jingling sound. So the child took some money and went up to buy the toy. He brought it home and he gave it to the mother. Mother laid the baby down on the bed and hung the red colored toy with the jingly sound above him at the end of the rope. The baby saw the toy and immediately started to play with it, hitting it from side to side. The child was most delighted as he continued to slap the toy and hear the jingling sound. For 1 hour, he played like that, and the mother went to do her cooking. After that, the child started to feel hungry for the entire time that the child was playing. He did not remember his mother. But now that he felt hungry, he thought, oh, where is my mother? But his mother did not come. Then he started crying, signifying, quote, I'm hungry, come. He could not speak. So he beckoned his mother by crying, come to me and suckle me. I'm hungry. His mother, however, was really busy cooking. No, she thought, let the child cry. So after some time, child stopped crying and went back to playing with the toy. Jingle, jingle, jingle. After playing like that for a while, the pangs of hunger returned. So his hunger increased and increased, and he became more and more unhappy. He began to cry for his mother even more loudly than before. His mother heard the crying of the baby, but thought that she would first finish her cooking. Finally, the hunger became unbearable for the child. The child thought at that moment, quote, I don't want toys. All he could think about was his mother. His crying became louder and louder until he was screaming. He started to throw his arms about and kick his legs in a tantrum. Then the mother thought, oh, I cannot stay away any longer. The mother ran toward the child, embraced him, and suckled him. Like this, the Supreme Lord has given us toys. The toy of a wife or a husband, toys of children, toys of buildings, toys of radios, toys of videos, toys of computers, cell phones. Seeing this, Krishna thinks, they are absorbed in their toys. I have no worries. I'm engaged in my pastime in the transcendental realm. They do not want this. They want those things instead. Here, take this computer, take this cell phone, Take that video, take this, take that, whatever you want. That's what Krishna has done. What we want, he provides. Upon the awakening of his real self, Atma, a man feels the want of the sweetest affection of the Supreme Lord. He cries, O Supreme Lord, in this world, now the time has reached the devotee who has to go to do their duties. They are most welcome to live. And the devotees who can hang around, they can relish these wonderful pastimes. Our Acharya is making so many nice instructions through these wonderful examples. Then maybe we can take those things in the inner core of our heart. That this is what it is. We are playing with the toys. So let me, before we continue, let me offer my humble obeisances at the desk of these wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who kindly join taking austerity every morning to give their kind support from Houston, from Fresno, from New Hampshire, Aurora, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta, Phoenix, Tempe, Austin, College Station, San Jose, Portland, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Baltimore, Baton Rouge, Alachua, Orlando, Sanford, Jacksonville, St. Louis, Loganville, Georgia, Maine, Ottawa, uh, New Delhi, Pondicherry, Bangalore, Pickering, near Toronto. So please accept my humble obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So let's dwell on the wonderful life of Bansidas Babaji. So
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam, Prabhuji. What is the book name that you are reading?
I'm reading from that. It's posted on our, uh, just let me see, on the Krishna ISKCON Desertory.
Oh.
Yes. So let me read that where I was. I scroll it down to see. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So then the mother thought, oh, I cannot stay away any longer. The mother ran toward the child, embraced him, and suckled him. Like this, the Supreme Lord has given us toys. I'm going to repeat this because it's make so much sense that we should hear over and over. The toy of a wife or a husband, toys of children, toys of buildings, toys of radios, toys of videos, toys of computer, toys of cell phone. Seeing this, Krishna thinks, oh, they are absorbed in their toys. I have no worries. I'm engaged in my pastime in the transcendental realm. They do not want this. They want those things instead. Here, take this computer, take this cell phone, take whatever you want. Take that, take this. Upon awakening of his real self, Atma, I always think, how much time do we spend for the covering of the Atma? Just think about it simply, and how much time that we spend for who really we are. And it's give right away the example of Prabhupada. Always give that example that we keep on signing the cage of the bird, but we always forget to feed the bird. What is the use of keeping this safe cage shining if the bird is died inside? That's our situation. We are killing our soul. Nardeha madhyam sulubham sudurlabham. That verse is so favorite to me. That after getting all these facilities and still, like the spiritual master is the captain of the boat, we have the scripture and association of devotees which give this wind to help our boat. After all this wonderful arrangement, if we will be failed to deliver our soul from the nations of this material existence, knowingly, like Narottam Das Thakur says, we are drinking the poison and killing our own soul. Harsh word, but it makes a lot of deep impression if you are sincere. And time is going away. Every life. This is not the first time we have come in this material world, millions of times. Every time we take up this process, something eludes us in our life and we swayed away from the path. And that's what is happening to us. And each time we leave our body, we regret it so much so. And when we are in the womb of the mother, 9 months, because Krishna is so kind, he gave his darshan. We can survive in that small place without moving or no independence. We eat what the mother feed us. Where is the independence? So we remember Krishna and we can stay in these very horrible things, horrible place. And we pray to Krishna, please release me from this suffering. Once I take the birth, get me out from these suffering conditions. I will devote my whole life for you. When we come out, we cry. Why? Because once we come out, we lose the darshan of Krishna. As long as we have the darshan of Krishna, we can take any difficulty in our life. No problem. And we have experienced those 9 months. Think about it if you have to stay like that. But Krishna was with us and we can survive. But as soon as we come out, when our anxiety goes away, we forget who has helped us in our life. We are so, what word I would like to use, I don't know. But we are like ungrateful, you know. We forget who has given us everything. We don't want to do damn thing for him. And at the end of the life, we will regret it so much so. But it's the same thing like, you know, there is a very nice story. The one, I don't know, one Maharaj was giving very hilarious class. And he said, look at the tail of a dog. And one man made that metal tube. And he was trying to put the tail of a dog in the metal tube. And somebody asked him, why you are doing such a thing? And he said, well, if I put the tail of a dog in a metal pipe, at least the tail will stay straight. And you know, Maharaj says, Baba, give up this thought. As soon as you remove this tube, which means the association of his devotees and Krishna, the tail will be the same bending positions. You cannot change artificially. You have to change, transform your activities, your thought process. Not by mechanical way you will be able to control our tail. It will always get bended. But something we become attracted, that decide our devotion to Krishna. And the amazing thing of the Maya Devi, when you leave something great, you feel happy in your heart. Oh, I did a wonderful decision. So let's come back to this life of Bansidas Babaji. I always get distracted, but that's my meditation. Upon awakening of his real self, Atma, a man feels the want of the sweetest affection of the Supreme Lord. You know, if you get even tinge of this experience once, this deep-rooted attachment has no value. That's what Bansidas Babaji has exhibited. He cries, the soul cries, O Supreme Lord, in this world, nothing give me happiness. Everything is temporary. Everyone is selfish. You are my most beloved. You don't expect anything from me. Only thing, true feeling and love and devotion. Still, I have no desire to come close to you. Where are you, Krishna? I have forgotten you. Come and come, we chant the holy name, invite him. But then we get into the grips of external energy. We are crying every morning, I'm in a furnace. Come, come. Weeping, he calls. But Krishna does not come. I'm engaged in my pastime, Krishna says. For some time, the man then becomes absorbed in the affair of his family and relatives and forget Krishna. Time passes and he cries again when the difficulty comes. Where is my beloved Supreme Lord? Where is he? Where is Krishna? And we cry, cry, cry. But the Supreme Lord still does not come. He knows. Ultimately, he shouts, I do not want a house. I do not want anything. Nobody is mine. Krishna, you are the only one is mine. Oh, beloved Supreme Lord, please come, please come. He cries and weeps, tossing his arms and legs about. Then Krishna cries, oh, and come to him. This sort of perturbation of the heart, extreme eagerness for getting Bhagwan must be there. This is the essence of everything. Extreme eagerness. There should be nothing should come in between our time and Krishna. Nothing is important, believe me. We should allocate the time in our life where nobody has any priority except Krishna. Start with 15 minutes a day, but be punctual. Never want Krishna to wait for us. And you will say Krishna will guide you. Then you will increase to 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. Extreme eagerness. There should be no other priority in the life. And one thing I can say, I have little experience, that if we do this thing, everything get adjusted so beautifully, millions times better than what we can do with our own strength and effort. But we have no faith. That's the problem. That's why our Acharya says, you need to experience. This philosophy, you will keep on reading the book, you can recite many verses, you can become an eloquent speaker on the Bhagavatam. But if you have not tasted, if you have not experienced, that knowledge has no value. That's a shallow practice. And that shallow practice, external energy will grab us. We have to be so fixed in devotion. At least give that time to Krishna, that this is my time for you. And then you see how Krishna will reciprocate. He will wait for you. He will look for you. If you have a trouble, he will fix everything. He will never make you sick. that you have excuse that, oh, I have a headache today, or today my body is aching. No problem. Krishna will give everything. But do we have that extreme eagerness? Ask ourselves. So Bansidas Babaji Maharaj said only one word, weep. But that single word has a great significance. When we associate with the Suddha Bhakta, who's crying for Krishna, then the eternal nature of Atma will be awakened. You have love for God. Love is there in your soul. It says the Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhyuka Vinahi Shramanadi Suddha Chitte Karare Uday. The love of Krishna is already inside our heart. We need to hear the instructions of the Suddha Bhaktas and meditate and show that commitment, take a vow like all these examples that we read one after another, how extreme circumstances happen in their life. They never deviated from their practices. And how it happened? Because Krishna provide everything. He will help us. So it says, then the natural, eternal nature of the Atma will be awakened, and you have love for God. And it exists, but it is presently enveloped by the external potency of the Supreme Lord with so many toys in our life. As long as we will keep on playing with the toys, we will never cry for our mother or Krishna. Lord, you have become averse to the enveloped by the external potency of Krishna, of the Supreme Lord, and you have become averse to Sri Krishna. Passing through different species, just remember how many 8.4 million pieces of life we have gone through. And still we have not learned a lesson. Still we feel empty about the material possessions, which is temporarily and it will be taken away. Still we have never satisfied. But what is there with all emptiness of the worldly things, if you connect with Krishna, everything becomes fulfilled. There is no emptiness in your life. That's what exhibited by Bansidas Goswami, Babaji Maharaj. They are teaching us by their life. All our acharyas, when we read their life and pastimes, all our lineage is so powerful. When we read their life, we can see how much implicit faith they have in the holy name. And I just can't forget that incident that Krishnadas Babaji, one of the Babaji, god brother of Prabhupada, was sitting with Prabhupada, and the Bon Maharaj, another god brother of Prabhupada, was there. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj requested Bon Maharaj that why don't you go to Britain, London, and Germany and preach the glories of holy name. They spent a couple of months. They were not able to even make one devotees. They came back. That this Western world is full of materialism. There is no way we can penetrate the holy name. So then Krishnadas Babaji is giving the example that why it was so impossible, why Prabhupada was able to deliver so many souls. And the answer Krishnadas Babaji gives that Prabhupada has the implicit faith in the holy name and his Guru Maharaj words. Two things is more important. And if you have that faith, impossible become possible. The layman can climb the mountain, and the dumb can become an eloquent speaker. That's the benedictions we can receive if we show the intense eagerness to become free from the cycle of birth and death. And then you see your sphere will become unlimited. We are getting bound by our external thing, so we cannot foresee even what's beyond there. But once we open up our life, you can swim in that ocean of nectar eternally. And there nothing in this material world will attract us. Only thing that we have to do is follow in the footsteps of our acharyas, have some faith in the words when they speak and hear, and we should do all. My Guru Maharaj always used to say something when we do Krishna Katha. Nobody can say that somebody says that it doesn't attract your heart. Something has attracted. Then dwell on it. Meditate on it. What does it mean in my life? Change your lifestyle to enhance that feeling of your internal desire, not external, internal, what our soul wants. And when we dedicate and pray to those personalities and Krishna, that please help me, please help me. Tesam satatam yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam, with no other desire except pleasing the Lord. Tem dadami buddhi yogam tem yena mame. That Krishna will show us and he will give us the experience. It's not that Krishna will hide everything. He will give you experience if we keep sincerely. Like as long as we will keep on playing with the toys, we are not seeking the mother. But as soon as we will dwell, we get fed up with playing with the toy over and over and over. Then Krishna will appear in our life. So this is a very nice to dwell on the life of our great acharyas, and also Yadunandan Thakur's disciples, they also there. I think during the day we should dwell on the life of Yadunandan Thakur. I heard that, I remember that Yadunandan Thakur used to come and talk to when Narottam Das Thakur was a very young boy. And I think just by hearing from the lotus mouth of Yadunandan Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur became a great saint. I don't know, I was listening, I don't know which Maharaj I was listening yesterday that make a wonderful point. What Rukmini did in Dwarka. She was listening all this explanation and the qualities of Krishna. She never saw Krishna physically. Just by hearing from the saintly person about Krishna, Rukmini becomes so attractive that she said, that's the only person I'm going to get married is Krishna. I cannot accept anybody in my life. And Krishna fulfilled her desire. So, hearing from these great personalities, I think we don't have the time. I don't want to hold everyone, but I think we should definitely read about the Yadunandan Maharaj. And let me see if we can find something. I don't know, my nature is, we have up to 8 o'clock anyway. Let me see if we can find something. Give me a few moments. Oh, my phone is new and I'm learning how to use it. Bear with me. Let's see. Let's see some life of Yadunandan Acharya. Yadunandan Acharya was a Brahmana residing in a village called Jamatpur near Rajbol Hut in the district of Hooghly. He was a disciple of Veerchandra Prabhu and he had two daughters. His own daughter by birth, Srimati, and a foster daughter named Narayani. Both these daughters married Veerchandra. The marriage of Veerchandra Prabhu has been mentioned in the Bhakti Ratnakar of Sri Narhari Chakravarti Thakur as follows. Near Rajabol Hut is Jamatpur. Sri Janua Mata, the wife of Nityanand Prabhu, went there to the temple of one of her disciples there. Lived the Brahmana Yadunandan Acharya. By the mercy of Sri Janmai Mata, he was endowed with great devotion. Yadunandan had a wife named Lakshmi. It was said that she was a pure and highly religious wife. And he had two daughters, Srimati and Narayani. Their bodily beauty was wonderful beyond compare. Upon the wish of Janma Mata, Haribol, that fortunate Brahmana gave his two daughters to be wed to Veerchandra Prabhu. Haribol. That's all that information we found. There must be another somewhere, but I couldn't find it. Let me see if we can find something more about Vyuhas Tritiya Pradyumna Priya Narma Shakho Bhavat Chakre Lila Sayam Yo Radha Madhavayar Braje Sri Chaitanya Advaita Tanu Sa Eva Raghunandana. The third member of the Chaturviha, Pradyumna, took part in Radha Madhav's Lila in Braj in Krishna's intimate friend or Priya Narma Sakha. He has now appeared as Raghunandan, whose body is not different from that of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Good Ganay Dais Deepika 17. And Raghunandan's father was Mukunda Das. Raghunandan was born into a family of physicians in the Sakha year of 1432, 1510 AD. You know 1510 AD when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did the Brajamandala Parikrama. This is the year is so wonderful, auspicious. His father's name was Mukunda Das and his mother's name was unknown. Mukunda Das was Narhari Sarkar Thakur's older brother. In the 15th chapter of the Madhya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is clearly said that Mukunda Das was a physician to the king. Externally, he appeared to be a physician to the king who is engaged in government service. But internally, he is filled with the divine love. Who would be able to know his love? Chaitanya Charitamrita 215, 120. Once, when Mukunda Das was engaged in treating the king, he saw a peacock feather and became fainted. You know, that is a wonderful story also when we hear like this. Mukunda Das also take Gadadhar Pandit to Vidya Purna Vidyanidhi. And this Mukunda Das felt that Gadadhar should meet that Purna Vidyanidhi. So he took it there. And when they went there, Pundrik Mahamud, he was wearing a silken cloth. Some young girl was fanning. And when the Gadadhar Pandit saw, he thought, why did he bring it to this person who is so worldly, attached with the woman and the fine clothes and everything? So Mukunda Das knows who's that, Vidyanidhi was. So he recited one verse about the conjugal relationship with Radha and Krishna. As soon as he heard these verses, he came into the ecstatic mood. And when Gadadhar saw that, then he realized what a blunder he made. He really didn't understand that person. So we should also be very careful when we associate with the devotees. We don't know where they are in their spiritual journey. So then Gadadhar Pandit was feeling so ashamed that I offended that great person. So then to become free from that offense, he took shelter and he made that Vidyanidhi his spiritual master. So when we read like this, it just came into mind that just by looking at the peacock feather, they can see the divine Krishna, not different from the peacock feather. But we need to have that intense grid. So his home was in Sikhan, a village in Burdwan district, on the Katwa-Burdwan rail line. The first station west of Katwa is Sripat Sikhan, and the second Sikhan, Mukunda Das' home, is about 1 mile from the Sikhan station. Raghunandan Thakur took birth on a Vasanta Panchami day, Haribol. Vasant Panchami day is the day when my Guru Maharaj took the sannyas, order of life. Haribol. We can connect so many things when we read this book to join those different dots in our life. Haribol. His uncle Narhari took a great deal of interest in raising Raghunandan, for whom he had much affection. That's one of the virtues. When we create the affection for the devotees, this is the jewel of our life. We should have a deep affection for all the living beings. If Krishna loves, how come we cannot love? We should have no envy for anybody, even though they may, cut to the pieces or they may blaspheme you, anything, whatever. We should love them. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu indicate that one's importance increases with the depth of devotion by telling Mukunda Das that his son was really his father. The three most important devotees from Sikhan were Mukunda Das, Raghunandan, and Narhari. Mahaprabhu asked Mukundas, "Are you Raghunandan's father? And is he your son? Or is he your father and you his son?" My brother-in-law, he joined first in the ISKCON movement. So, and then his father, my father-in-law joined, and then we joined. So one time my Guru Maharaj asked my father-in-law, who is the real father? Is you are the father or your son is your father? Test him out, because his son took the first initiation, surrender to Krishna. So in reality, the son is real father. Who will accept that in the material world? But this is really, scripture teach us those things. So tell me so that I can put my doubt to rest. So Mukunda answered. What did he say? Yes, Raghunandan is my father and I'm his son. Rest assured, Mukunda said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, So whatever devotion we have comes from him, therefore I see him as my father. When we heard, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the Mukunda's answer, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was thrilled, so happy. And he said, he from whom we imbibe devotion is certainly our Guru. Chaitanya Charitamrita confirmed 2:15, 1:12 to 1:17. Mahaprabhu gave Raghunandan the service of deity worship. Raghunandan's work is to serve Krishna. He has no interest in anything other than serving Krishna. What a great personality. From his early childhood, Raghunandan Thakur would feed the family's Gopinath deity laddus. And Uddhava Das has written a song in which this lila is described. Mukunda Das lived in the village of Sikand, where his household deity was named Gopinath. So one day, he had to go to somewhere for work and he called Raghunandan to do the service. Wonderful story. Now I remember this whole pastime, so nice to draw. So he said, somebody has unmuted their phone, kindly please everybody check, keep phone muted. He said, in this house we worship Krishna. So I want you to be sure, give him something to eat. And then Mukunda Das left. So Raghunandan did as his father has instructed and ordered and made the offering to the deity. Oh, this is a wonderful pastime. I really will relish this time. Raghunandan was just a child. And in his simplicity, he said to Gopinath, eat, eat. Krishna is controlled by the love of his devotees, nothing else. So he did as the child told him and ate everything on the plate without leaving a grain of rice. Somebody has still unmuted. Please make sure that your phone is muted. Karunya Murti Mataji, your phone was unmuted, please. Be mindful. It's create distractions. Thank you, I have muted you. Do not worry now. Raghunandan was just a child, and his simplicity, he said to Gopinath, eat, eat. Krishna is controlled by the love of his devotees. So he did it as the Raghunandan told him to do. He ate everything without leaving a grain of rice. So when his father Mukunda Das returned, he asked Raghunandan to bring him the prasad from the offering he has made to the Gopinath. And the Raghunandan responded, Father, he ate everything and he has not left any remnants today. His father Mukunda Das was astonished at his child's wonderful words, that he asked him again on another occasion to make an offering. This time, after he left the house, he returned and secretly he hid and he watched what his son is doing. So Raghunandan, he just joyfully placed a laddu on Krishna's hand and said in a commanding voice, eat, eat. And when Krishna has eaten half of the laddu, Raghunandan, then he saw his father Mukundas in the doorway. Mukunda saw that Krishna did not take another bite and that the half-eaten laddu remained in his hand. Krishna doesn't want to show unless he becomes pleased with somebody. This is Krishna. So this caused him to be filled with love. He embraced his child Yadunandan and tears of joy rained from his eyes, spoke to him in a broken voice as follows. To this day, fortunate people come to Sikand to see the half-eaten laddu in Gopinath's hand. If you visit this place, wonderful. Raghunandan is not different from Cupid himself, says Uddhavadas with great feeling. All the devotees, when they speak, they have so much feeling churning in their heart. That's why we feel so much happy to read those things, because they have poured their love in the world. All the Mahatmas felt fascinated to see the Gopinath deity whom Raghunandan had fed laddus. Bhakti Ratnakar 9.525. Another miraculous event happened. Narhari Sarkar Thakur gave meat to Nityanand Prabhu and Mahaprabhu from a pond which was right next to their home. This pond became known as Madhu Pushkarini. The legend is told that the Kadamba tree, which grew right next to the pond, always had two flowers blooming, regardless of the season, by Raghunandan's miraculous power. Haribol. I can see this wonderful tree with these beautiful flowers. According to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhan, another miraculous event took place in Raghunandan's life. See how beautiful it is. One day, Abhiram Thakur, we always pray when we, in the early morning, I always, because he is also one of the 12 main Sakha of Krishna in Krishna's Leela. Abhiram Thakur came to Sikhan and paid his obeisances to Raghunandan. And then he embraced him and melted with feeling of prem. Raghunandan started to dance and sing kirtan. And while doing so, one of his ankle bells slipped from his foot and went flying off, landing 4 miles away in Akai Het, near his disciple Krishnadas' house, Haribo. Later, in order to commemorate the event, a tank was excavated there, which was given the name Napur Kund. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the father of the Sankirtan movement, gave his adopted son, Raghunandan Thakur, the authority to offer the garland on the day before the Sankirtan Yagna, Adhivash, and to make the final offering at the Yagna's end. How fortunate, Yadunandan. I remember the Raghunandan that I think that he was the one reading this Krishna's pastime to Narottam Das Thakur, but we will see it comes here or not. Raghunandan Thakur accompanied the Bengali devotees to Puri every year at Chaturmas, and he would dance with his uncle Narhari at the Rath Yatra festival in the group formed by the residents of Shikhan. There are 8 groups, and every group has the dancer, every group has a singer. Vakreshwar Pandit was one of the biggest dancer. He can constantly dance for 72 hours non-stop. Just think about 3 days and 3 nights. That's energy comes from Krishna's relationship, not with material. So some people said, anyone who is dear to Raghunandan will win Mahaprabhu's mercy for life after life. You know how fortunate we are. Somehow or other Krishna is so kind to dwell in his life and giving. I was looking for it, and first we found something, but it was very little. But Krishna is always kind. When we look for something with intense desire, Krishna fulfilled the desire. This is the right example. Haribol. So others said, Raghunandan is so merciful that he gives life to the most humble and fallen. And the others said, what humility exhibited by Raghunandan. There is no one who is his equal. And there is no end of it. The other says he is as beautiful as Kandharpa himself. Bhakti Ratnakar 9.660. Srila Raghunandan Thakur had great affection for Srinivasa Acharya. Haribol, the close companion of Narottam Das Thakur, that Srinivasa Acharya and the Narottam Das Thakur, they entrusted by the Jiva Goswami to take those scriptures of the 6 Goswamis to Bengal. And that's a great story. Remember, Srinivasa Acharya is the one who is telling Narottam Das Thakur, go and perform your Sankirtan in Kheturi, your birthplace, and I will take care and I will find the bullock cart. Haribol. When we read this, we should link those things so we can appreciate their personalities. So prior to his disappearance, Srila Raghunandan Thakur had great affection for Srinivasa Acharya, and prior to his disappearance, he consoled Srinivas that despite the difficult time, he would be able to spread Vaishnavanism in the future. Haribol. So this is the mercy of Raghunandan Thakur, that he was able to do the spread of Vaishnavism, and he found those books, the bullock cart. What a boon. A difficult time is coming in which people will succumb to various doubts. Narhari Prabhu wrote in his Sri Krishna Bhajanamrita as follows: Krishna Chaitanya Chandrena Nityanandena Samhrite Avtare Kalau Ashmin Vaishnavaha Sarva Evahi Bhavishyanti Sato Dvignaha Kale Kale Dine Dine Prayaha Sandigdha Rudaya Uttametara Madhyamaha. Once our Lord Krishna Chaitanya and his companion Nityanand Prabhu have ended their incarnation, the Vaishnavas in this age of Kali will be anxious with every passing day, whether they advance, somewhat advance, or remain neophyte. Their hearts will nearly always be filled with doubt. Haribol. But don't let this worry you. Lord Gauranga will accomplish many great works through you. I bless you that you remain long on this earth, and that you and your follower protect our Lord's religion. Those who are opposed to devotion to Krishna will become devotees by your influence, and they will take shelter of you. Bhakti Ratnakar state 13.174 to 179. So Raghunandan Thakur bequeathed the service of his Gaura Gopal deity to his son Kanai Thakur, and then left this world on the 4th day of the waxing moon in the month of Shravan. Kanai Thakur gave a feast as a part of his father's last rites. Raghunandan slowly became hidden to mortal eyes while repeating again and again the name of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. How glorious is the day of Shravan Shukla Chaturthi! Who will not sing the glories of Raghunandan Thakur? Bhakti Ratnakar state 13.183 and 184. So this was cut from Sri Chaitanya, his life and associate by Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Maharaj. Haribol. What a wonderful life. This is a very nice by, there is a Yadunandan Swami Maharaj, that's another one, that he has a right, give a class in Mayapur temple, that preparing for death and eternal life. Wonderful class. Uh, I will listen later on the day. This is our devotee's life. When something attracts our mind and heart, we should dwell more and more, and we can get a lot of information. Yeah, but we never hear this, what I had in my mind, that Yadunandan Acharya Thakur was the one who was coming to Narottam Das Thakur and reading the pastime of Krishna. So I will have to verify that. I don't know where I read that. I think it should be in the life of Narottam Das Thakur. That will give some homework to find out where that's stated. So thank you very much, all these wonderful souls. Let's pray to the divine couple to bestow their kind upon all of us, that give us the intense desire to cross over these nations of this material existence once and for all. We have so many experiences, but we forgot. Every time we were in difficulties, Krishna was the one who saved us. So let's make some commitment in our life. At least try to dedicate it what we enjoy, give that enjoyment to Krishna, and see that how our life get turned. Simply, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions, stay where you are. You don't have to change anything. Just invite the Krishna in your heart. Not externally, but do the internal thing. External things will not give you any experience in your life, and your devotion will remain always full with the doubt. And so you are swimming in the shallow water, which is difficult. So let's dive into the deep water, deep into the nectar of ocean of Krishna, where we can swim eternally and remain blissful. That's the life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so kind to appear in the age of Kali. Kali Kale Nama Rupe, Krishna Avatar, Nama Haita Haya Sarve, Jagata Nistar. When we take the complete shelter of the holy name, this world will become no value to us. This should be the result of our chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Slowly and slowly we have to realize those facts in our life. Then and then we will remain steadfast. Otherwise, these toys will keep on playing in our life. One after another, one after another. There is no end of it. Like all our Acharya says that it's very, very difficult to create the love of Krishna in their heart. Don't take it easy. It's not available that easily. All our Acharya has sacrificed their life to attain the love of Krishna. It's not cheap. I still remember that Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, don't think that you have joined the ISKCON. Don't think that your Guru Maharaj is a liberated person, so I will get delivered by his mercy. Everybody has to put their own effort. They can guide us, but work that need to be done by us, following in their footsteps. Have a full conviction in the word of our instruction we receive from our Guru, and have the faith in the holy name. And then you swim in the ocean of nectar. If we keep those two things within our life, Krishna will reveal everything, who we are most fallen. We have no intelligence. We cannot even discriminate what is right, what is wrong. We became always foolish. Our actions prove that in our life. At least I can speak for myself. So only way we will be able to cross our race by the mercy. Otherwise, what is the hope we have? So we pray to the Yadunandan Acharya Thakur today, and also the Vansidas Babaji Maharaj to bless us, so we can remain like a Jewish wife, to the husband, that they will sacrifice everything. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Do you have about 5 minutes?
Can I call you back in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Haribo. So I think, Prabhu's, we have a time to depart with heavy hearts. I don't want to lose your association, but we have to engage in some other external service of Krishna's also. So, and then I will have